I think my mindset is just I want to do it for this team. Thankfully, I've been put in this position to be able to fight for LSU on every single event, and I just want to take that opportunity and do what I can with it.
Did you think a 10 could come on beam? I mean, how does that rank for you in terms of what do you think is your best event?
Yeah, I think it just comes from just doing what I do every single day. I know what I'm capable of doing, but at the end of the day, it's just doing what we do every single day.
A beam queen is what she is.
Thanks, Amy. Here's
Are you going to go for I guess the quad factor next week, Aaliyah? I mean, you got it in beam.
I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We're just taking it one meet at a time.
Haley, not to be that person, but 2 years ago you was kind of in this same position, to close out the meet against Florida. Did you kind of, did that kind of bring you back to kind of like a full circle moment?
I think before, or honestly in the beginning of the week, it kind of went through my head, and I think I just try to block that out and do what I do every single day in the gym and not worry about what I've done against Florida the past 2 years and just go out there and do what I do every single day and competing against everybody in the country out there, so I don't need to worry about one team, and I just want to do it for this team, and I'm proud of them.
We call that ghosting.
Yeah,
If you think about the past, we don't like that. Walking around with mistakes of the past is not a good thing to do. Needed that, obviously. We've been improving week over week and continuing to get better and getting season high scores, whether it be home or on the road. And the one thing was missing was the win, and to get a win like that, and it was special. It's a good shot in the arm, and I think it just helps their belief. I think it's just going to help them believe that they can do it. We've talked ad nauseum about wins and losses don't really determine much, but when you're not getting the wins and you've done well, that can begin to wear on you a little bit. And they, but they did such a great job. The message all week was that, really nobody had put much pressure on Florida to this point of the season. I mean, they've kind of run off and left everybody, and I've said it before, that may be the best roster ever assembled in college gymnastics. And but our message was, let's just put pressure on them. Let's see what happens. You guys just keep going, keep grinding, keep pushing, and see if we can, where we measure up. Maybe we'll catch a break. And I don't think we really caught a break, but we really performed at an extremely high level tonight, all the way through, and made some good decisions about who went in the lineups and getting KJ back in on beam and putting Elena out there on floor just to kind of steady the middle of that lineup. It makes a difference for those back three because, she went out there and got us a 9.825, which is really all we needed at that point, just to kind of keep things on an even keel. And I think she did the all-around tonight. That may be the first time she's ever done it. And so, just, continued growth and continue to see the kinds of things you want to see mid-season. But it's a dual meet. It's not the Super Bowl, and so we've got to come back down from this. It's an emotional high for sure, and we got to get ready to go to Alabama and see if we can't perform at the same level on somebody else's equipment in somebody else's room, and that's really where my mind is right now.
Is there, any additional meaning for this being the first win by any SEC team in the regular season since late 2019 over Florida?
I wasn't even aware of that. I know they've been on a run, kind of a reign of terror, if you will, the last several years, and they are the right now. They've been the gold standard in the league the last several years, but. I wasn't aware of that. It's kind of similar to the 3-year run we had, 16, 17, 18, I think, where we went undefeated, I think 3 years straight. That you get on streaks like that and things are cyclical. They're a great team. There's no shame in what they did out there tonight by any means. but I was not even aware of that. So it's just nice to win in front of our fans, again. And we perform better here. We've got to get better at being able to be complete when we're on the road. We're really that energy that we get here really feeds us, and we're at a time of the year where fatigue can become a problem if you're not careful. So we've just got to we got to stay the course and be judicious with how we prepare for these meets.
Two questions actually. It sounded like early in the week you might have thought of not having Haley do the all around. Did that change during the week? And second of all, inserting Elena in on floor.
Yeah.
She hadn't done floor at all
Yeah.
this year. Why did you have to, and why did you pick her?
Well, two parts to that. One, early in the week, I was concerned about Haley and Alona. Alona's got a groin strain that has been worsening, and she came out of last weekend really hurting throughout her hip. We had it scanned because we were concerned that it might be something a little more serious. It wasn't. Gave her 3 days to just do nothing and calm it down, and yesterday she did a little bit, and she told me, she said, I can go. I feel better. And we're going to have to keep nursing that. She'll probably be hurting a little bit after this one too. Haley's shoulder is the issue. She's just we don't think it's anything that's there's nothing in terms of instability or anything torn. It's just really inflamed, and I can tell, you could tell early in the week it was bothering her. It was written on her face a little bit in the gym. She's still executing at a super high level. So we've got to get that some attention tomorrow. I think we're going to have the doctor look at it in the morning and just make sure that that we're doing everything the right way, because we've still got a long way to go in this season. But we really can't afford to take those guys out of the all-around right now. I mean, they're our best shot at winning, when we have them all going. So if I had the luxury of resting them, I would, but I don't have it right now. Maybe in a few weeks, because we are getting a few more bodies back. Olivia's ready on bars. She's got to get a little more consistent, and she'll probably find her way back into that lineup somewhere. Although we keep doing what we did tonight, it's going to be tough to crack that. Bryce is physically in a good place. Again, so we may be able to get her back out there too.
Coach, a few weeks ago, you said that y'all maybe had another hammer in Aaliyah. I guess 3 perfect 10s later, is she like the 1B hammer now? I guess.
Well, we knew when we signed her. We know her pedigree. We know her sister. We know her family. Like if I could get a clone or DNA swab or something to grow some more Finnegans, I would. They're awesome. But she's, it just was a matter of time, for her to mature and figure out how to be really consistent, because she's super talented. I mean, super talented. She does things she makes things look easy that are incredibly difficult. So I'm just pleased that she's found her stride a little bit. The challenge is to keep growing, though. We haven't arrived, as another coach around here says, and so we've certainly got a long way to go. We got a long season still ahead of us, and we've just got to continue to grow.
Growing is a way to put it. First 198 of the season. How much does this go to prove to the girls that, hey, we can do this?
Well, that's what I told them at the end. If you don't believe in yourself now, you won't, because you joined an elite group of teams that have been able to do that. And against what I believe is as I said, the best roster in the country. I mean, you went toe to toe, regardless of, gymnastics fans are always going to gripe about scores, and coaches gripe about scores, and those things happen. And but I don't think there was anything glaringly out there that separated our two teams just in terms of execution. I thought it was two very, very good teams that executed at a very high level tonight. Now, who knows? Would it have been a 198 somewhere else? I don't know, but really that doesn't matter. But I think it does give them a shot in the arm. There's a psychological thing to that. Whether it really matters or not, probably not. But psychologically, it makes them feel good. It makes them feel like they're one of the better teams in the country. And now maybe they can start believing, even at a deeper level, that they can do some things. Yeah, yeah.
You totally dodged my question about the floor.
Oh, did I?
No, but
I didn't get there.
floor all year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why'd you
Well,
have to do
Chase is Chase has had ups and downs over there, and she looked great in the gym, but she in warm-ups she looked a little just a little off. She was over rotating things a little bit, not landing particularly well, and at some point we knew we wanted to get Elena in anyway and get her feet wet there, just so that if she gets pressed into action, that she's got some experience under her belt. And she warmed up well, and it just felt like the right move to, it's a 2-pass routine, and there's a couple little things in there that we need to improve on. But Elena's going to hit 9 times out of 10. She's just a steady, calming force. If you just look at the way she carries herself, she's just. She never goes way up. She never comes way down. She's unflappable by the situation most of the time. And we just felt like she was in a good place mentally, and it was a good time to put her in. And I'm glad we did, because the first 2 routines did what they've done all year, and then in the middle we stayed steady. It wasn't a 9-9 or anything like that yet, but we stayed steady, and it was a score that we could have counted if we needed to, and that was good.
While they had a lot of spectacular scores, they also had some bad scores, 9-6, 7-5, 9-7, and you didn't have anything under an 9.825. So I guess this counts as hitting 24 for 24 in your mind.
No doubt.
And
It was
that's
a
what you
complete.
won, right?
It was a complete meet. I mean, certainly there were little things we could have done better. You'd like a couple more of the vaults to have landed well, and but it's far and away our most complete meet so far. We were close to doing that last week at Auburn. After Aaliyah got the 10, I felt like the back 3 got a little bit tight, trying to do something super special, and that's a mistake. That's kind of a trap when something like that happens. But we were close to doing it last week on the road, and now we've had a complete meet here. So hopefully we can go to Alabama. We're going to need it, because they've found themselves too, and they've gone 198 also last week. So it's a tough league. Everybody's good. There's no rest for the weary, for sure.
It seems like your team kind of rises to the occasion. When Oklahoma came here,
Yeah.
really close then. Here you get the win against Florida. How do you get them to bring that to each meet in that intensity?
I'm learning to get out of their way, honestly. I think they understand the message. They understand that it's about staying aggressive and not being timid and being free of fear. It's about a choice. You can be aggressive and fearless, or you can be timid and fearful. And if it, because you can want something so bad that it causes you to fear what's going to happen. In some ways, we're better suited to kind of be an underdog a little bit right now, and I think they relish that a little bit. It helps them stay in that aggressive mindset. But I'm learning that when it comes to meet time, just let them do it. You want them to be on autopilot. You got to give them a chance to get there, and so I'm learning to try to shorten my speeches a little bit. I get long-winded. Everybody knows. Repeat Randy.